Aloha. This is... Or Butch Jenny. This is drunk commentary on the Shisha record, I Promise. This song is Sad Girl, Sad Pony Gorilla Girl, which don't tell any of the other songs, is my favorite Shushu song. I've never admitted this out loud, because I'm afraid the other songs would be sad. But they're not living beings, and they don't care at all. This was recorded at Fort Awesome, which was a terrible house that Corey McCulloch and I used to live in, and where we started Shushu. And the lyrics from the song came from, there was like an apartment that was adjoined to the house that we lived in, and there was a porch that was outside of my window, and there was two women out there having an affair, and they would talk under the window all the time, and I could hear what they were saying. That kind of chimey sound is from a really good electric mandolin that Corey had. It was a harmony, and he rightly so coveted that little guy. It sounded really good. And I think that there is some toy piano in here, and the toy piano belonged to Lauren Andrews. And I think the guitar is on a Guild guitar, a Guild nylon string guitar, which Corey gave me, which I still have, which is right next to me, actually. There it goes. This song was originally a 10 on the Swear Jar song, which was the band that Corey and I were in before Shushu. That sound is me slapping myself in the face. What a fucking punk. Ay, ay, ay. That's a lot of acting out. But it was true. Mamma mia. What a disaster. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a little more booze. Here it goes. I don't think I've listened to this record since 2003 when it came out. It feels funny to hear it. And it feels funny to say that too. Like a horrible pose. That's a horrible pose too. I guess I shouldn't be ashamed. This song sounds almost, the beginning accidentally sounds exactly like an Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark song called New Stone Age, where it's like analog synth clickety clacks, but this is before we had analog synths. This is just when we had fake analog modeling synths. I think that was a Korg MS-2000, which at the time was the fanciest of the fancy synths. I got in a bad car accident, and I got some insurance money from the car accident, and I bought this really fancy synthesizer. And then I had to have it repaired once, and they told me nothing was wrong with it, but they were wrong, and I very rashly, they wanted to charge me a $50 bench fee just for telling me there was nothing wrong with it, but they were wrong. And I was so mad I never went and picked it up, which was really stupid, because I wish I still had that keyboard. But I do some really stupid shit sometimes. Obviously, the song is about killing yourself. But, you know, it happens. The name Apostat Commander came from Yvonne Chen saying that I think her friend's child referred to something as Apostat Commander, and she mentioned it at practice we were having when we were trying to write the song. And it didn't make any sense, or it seemed like a curious idea that didn't make any sense. So we named it that. That's some smashy smashies right there, buddy. Smashy smashy. So I have used the same drum machine more, programmable drum machine. I have some old 70s Japanese ones that you can't program, but the only programmable drum machine that I've really used since this record was the Roland MC307, and it took me a long time to figure out how to use it. And I could only make it do 16th notes, but in writing this song I learned how to make it do 30-second notes. So some of the beats are faster than I ever imagined a beat could be. Oh boy, time for another sip. So at the aforementioned rehearsal that we came with the title for this, Yvonne Chen, we had this, I think it was a kind of a terrible Alesis keyboard, a big black kind of 90s digital synthesizer, total garbage. Maybe it's great now, but the 90s were total garbage, so it was probably total garbage. And it had this kind of bendy sound, and she started playing some kind of block chords. We were super into Henry Cowell at the time, and I heard him from another room. I think I might have been in the bathroom taking care of some business, such as combing my hair or shaving my chest, and I yelled, "That's it!" And she kept playing. It's an interesting part. I think she did a good job. I think those clangy clangs are from Lauren Andrews. I'm not sure who did the sort of high keyboard parts. That might have been me, or that might have been Corey. At the time, it kind of could have been either of our specialties. But I'm pretty sure I did the drum machine part. This one, I think, for that quartet of Corey, Lauren, and Yvonne, and myself, I think this was probably the most collaborative song that we did, in that we wrote it at a rehearsal, kind of starting from nothing. It's nice knowing that some people who I like could agree on something. Or maybe they'd never agreed on it. Maybe I just think, because it ended up on the record, that they agreed on it. But I probably just said it was going to be on the record because I'm kind of a bossy cunt. Oh, this is some bamboo clanged together. That's not. Clarinet, Mr. Clarinet. I have a very disturbing history with this clarinet player. I know she would not want me to say what happened between us, but it was salacious and physically uncomfortable. But who cares? Walnut House is the name of a nursing home where my grandmother lived and eventually died. My friend told me that he didn't like this song. Oh well, it remains. I think the only time that it was played live was I did a solo tour of the United States and of Europe in 2009. But I think it sounded super different than this song. That percussion is all samples. If you didn't guess. If you are not a guesser. As Many Eyes as a Pineapple is taken from some Khmer Rouge propaganda. My armpits are like black moons. I quoted verbatim from a book, but I can't remember what book. Despite the other samples, that's a real clarinet played by someone who, while we were fucking, looked at me in the eye in the middle of fucking and started singing a Bright Eyes song. It was a brief, but fucking... It happens to everybody at some point. Literally or figuratively. In this case, literally. I hope I stopped. Speaking of buttholes, the mention of a butthole's coming up here shortly. Corey McCulloch thought this was a stupid lyric, I think. Yep, buttholes all around. I think I told him this lyric thinking it would scandalize him, and he just looked at me expressionless, tired of my bullshit. If I was him, I'd probably be pretty tired of it too. This was at the beginning of becoming interested in bird watching. My mom's favorite duck was Ruddy Duck, and this was a song about, to a degree, I think not so much about her mom, but dedicated to her mom, who was my grandma. I'm wearing her ring right now. My grandma's ring. That's nice, I guess. I hope so. She was a complicated lady. Like all humans. I don't know what these sounds are from. I don't remember at all. Probably a drum machine. But that worry, I know what that is from. And that mom, I know what that's from. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Right? Another sip. Oh. That's Jess Smith playing an opera gong. Now I know what that sound is. Thank goodness. This is 20,000 Deaths for Idling Gonzalez and 20,000 Deaths for Jamie Peterson. Originally, there's a totally different first version of this, which Corey and I wrote. This is going to sound, at this point, considering the political implications of having been a complete and total clusterfuck written on 9/11 when the initial death toll rates were 20,000 people. But the first version was really different. It didn't sound anything like this at all. And I think the rest of it I wrote in a hotel room while Corey was trying to sleep while we were on our first tour. And I didn't realize I was making so much noise, but he told me he heard the whole thing and I was keeping him awake. But he was pretty nice about it. I probably would have been a total prick about it, because, man, if you wake me up, I can't fall back asleep. It blows. Once I'm up, I'm up. I think all these keyboard sounds are from the little Roland MC307 box. I think this is all sequenced, probably. Awful was the name of my dad's imaginary friend when he was a child. Cookie was the name of a young girl who, when he was 18 and she was 18, I think he got her pregnant. And it was at a time when, if you were a pregnant teenager, that they just sent you away to a convent or something to have the baby and leave it at the convent. I don't know where that baby is now. This vocal part is pretty ambiguous. A vocal part like this could also be referred to as getting away with it, potentially. I think Cherry here refers to Idling Gonzalez, who was a woman who I did not treat very well at the time. I think that she thought that I was her boyfriend, but I think I was just doing disturbing sexual things to her because she didn't say no very often. I think she was a little out of my league, frankly. I think she probably could have really used a serious, relentless daddy, but I didn't know how to do it in a constructive way. I hope she has that now. Those sounds are made by Lauren Andrews, playing what we refer to as the pizza violin, which has another name, but it's kind of a dumb name. I'm not going to tell you what the real instrument name is, because pizza violin is a better name. I went to make another drink because I drank all the other one. And then I walked back in the little studio, but I left the other drink in the kitchen, so I had to go back and get it. Pink City, the name of this piece of paper, is the nickname of the city Jaipur in the state of Rajasthan in India, because the buildings are painted pink. It's a nice place. As a tourist, it's a nice place. Maybe it sucks to live there. There's no way I could ever know. All the lyrics from this song are taken from 2 different 10 on the Swear songs. Don't tell anyone. And we never played this song live, to the best of my knowledge. But I would know. Don't you think? Maybe I would. Who knows? Maybe I don't. This is starting not to make very much sense. I think because we never played this live, and I think I did all the music on this one, there's not a lot to say about it. And you can't hear what the words are, and I don't remember what they are anyway. I hope this doesn't make this song seem dumb if you liked this song. And there it goes. I don't remember this part at all. Well, that was some pretty shitty commentary. There's another version of the song called Sad Choreographer, which was on a 5RC comp. But the music is super different. But the lyrics are the same. It's the same song, but just a really different version. Corey told me that this beginning part sounded like a guy who got a new keyboard and was playing with his new keyboard. But it was true. That's what I told him. This is a guy with a new keyboard playing with his new keyboard. And then he just kind of looked at me and went, okay. Oh, I didn't even know there was cello in this. And I didn't know there was weird pitch-shifted vocals in it either. Nor did I know there was whistling in this. That's Jess Smith. It's I think he did 2 drum takes. And I, just using the magic of digital editing, pulled them a beat apart so they kind of clacked against each other. This is about feeling stupid about liking a boy and trying to hit on that boy and having that boy not like you. But also that boy was a kind of a fuck. And in retrospect, it was good that he was a fuck and didn't inject his shitty self into your life. Which I just realized now, but at the time it felt bad. That's frequently how it goes, as you well know.
Said it did not cost me anything.
That line is actually from a Todd Solondz movie called Welcome to the Dollhouse, where I can't remember the character's name, but he tries to give a cookie to a popular girl, and she says, "Oh, this cookie didn't cost you anything." And something similar happened in real life, but it wasn't with a cookie, but it seemed to apply. And there was a showing of Welcome to the Dollhouse in LA recently, and Zach Pennington was there, and I think he hates my guts, and he saw me, and he just sort of looked horrified. And I just pretended I didn't see him, which was uncharacteristically cool of me. Normally I would have made a fucking scene, but maybe I'm becoming more mature. That's stupid. That's Chess Smith playing floor tom. That sounds timpani-esque. Nice cello playing. Cello person. I can't remember what your name is. But you played beautifully. That is not a cello. That is the pizza violin. It's not really made of pizza. But that's probably not a surprise to you. If it is, I'm sorry that I destroyed your musical fantasies. Or was it or were you relieved that your favorite food didn't sound like that? I heard a woman say this. I've got only one brought to my name, and she was in a wheelchair. Those clangy sounds are from some gongs from the Philippines that my grandpa gave my mom and my mom gave to me. They look like they're gamelan gongs, but they're really not. I realized later. This song is about my dad telling me that how much he wanted to kill himself. We did it before he killed himself. But this record came out right after he killed himself. I think, with the exception of I've only got one brought to my name, everything is from things that he said to me. He didn't say ha 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 ha. That's just sometimes when you have a melody and you don't know what lyrics to put with it, you just say that. Man, he said that to me a bunch of times though. That's probably not a very nice thing to say to your to your son. I guess there's infinitely worse things to say to your son though. So maybe I got up kind of easy. Otherwise, no, that's not true. A lot of times he wasn't very nice. I was trying to let him off the hook. But he could probably get let off the hook. He wasn't totally horrible. He was pretty good most of the time. I sound like my mom. This song is about my little brother Joe. Kind of at the time that my family was totally falling apart. He moved from the Bay Area to New York, I think, just to get the fuck out of Dodge, which I couldn't really blame him. But I think it really surprised my family. They were all really close. And, I mean, the idea of getting the fuck out of Dodge seems really like a natural thing to do to me now that I have since done it numerous times. But we were all pretty surprised that he had the wherewithal to just decide that things were too insane and just to start a new life. We lived together briefly for a while in Fort Awesome. We're very close now. He's a good brother and a good friend. But it kind of broke my heart that he moved away. And actually, when I moved back to Los Angeles after having been in prison in North Carolina, he lived in Los Angeles for a little bit when I first moved there, but then he moved to Oregon. And that kind of broke my heart too. So I think I want to live close to him, but I don't think he wants to live close to me. But he has his own crosses to bear, and sometimes he needs a little space to do that, which I understand. This drum machine programming was actually on MC303, not MC307. I think it was the last song we programmed using that box. It's a good box. That's Yvonne singing. I completely forgot she sang on this. She seemed nervous about it. She sounds good. She sounds very true and very genuine. Another sip for Ms. Chen. I think I just wanted my brother to feel proud of himself when he left town and went to his new place. I saw him get in 2 fights as a kid, and I don't think that I did enough to help him, and it still makes me feel pretty bad. There was one time in an alley, I was in a treehouse, and it was in an alley, and 2 kids came up to him on BMX bikes and were fighting him, and I thought I should jump out of the treehouse and help him. But I took too much time to do it. Another time a kid was choking him, and I just was sort of stunned, and I should have taken a knife and stabbed that kid in the heart. Maybe I should find him now and do it. The kid's name was Kenny. I'm just gonna stab everyone named Kenny in the heart with a knife. Or I'll take a broom handle and I'll sharpen it. And I'll kill you, you little fuck. This is a song by Katrina and the Waves called Walking on Sunshine. It's about feeling super good. It was featured in the movie, that Record Store movie. Not Grosse Point Blank. The dude who was in Grosse Point Blank. It was kind of bad. For some weird reason, I watched it recently with Jack Black. Both those guys have gone on to make infinitely better movies. I hope that's not their favorite movies. Sorry, I'm talking shit about your favorite movie, Jack Black and Grosse Point Blank, dude. Who went on to play Brian Wilson, one of the fucking most annoying musicians of all time. This is Sam Micken, speaking of some of the most fucking annoying musicians of all time, playing the ukulele, the stupidest instrument of all. Sometimes you make bad decisions when you're young. I don't think Sam is inherently a bad guy. Oh, motherfucker, why do I fucking care? No one cares. Katrina and the Waves, you did a really good job writing this song. It blows my mind to this day that one of the most depressing songs of all time has made its way into the canon of light rock radio. I think live, this song, I mean, I know. Don't be insecure. I was just about to say, don't be insecure, fuckface. Maybe that's why I'm being insecure. Because my nickname for myself is fuckface. But we played this song in 2006 on an epically long and not very good US tour. Chess's first Shoo tour. Sorry, buddy. Chess, Carolee, and me was the lineup. David was on that tour. And then Shayna Dunkelman and I played it in 2012 on tour. And I played it on a solo tour opening for Swans. So I think 3 tours we played this song. 3 totally different versions. 3 different eggs. 1 egg, pale yellow. 1 egg, sky blue. 1 egg, fuchsia. Inside, 3 different aliens. All 3 aliens laying eggs inside of your heart. Those eggs hatch into your breakfast. Don't eat it. Don't spread the alien cancer of your own motherfucking heart. I don't know if I can drink anymore, but I'm gonna give it a try. Here it goes. That's sort of an insipid thing to do right now when you're feeling insecure. But I guess that's the whole fucking point of drinking, is feeling stupid and insecure. So, here's an honest sip. Jarek Bischoff played on this song too. We're still friends. I think. I hope. He probably thinks I'm kind of dumb. But he's a good musician. He's a decent guy. Dresses well. Drove me home once when I was really drunk a few months ago. He used to live on a boat. If you listen to NPR, you're aware of this.
Ka-ching. Quack-quang. Coop-a-da-bop.
I don't really want to say anything. Katrina and the Waves wrote such good lyrics on this. I don't really want to talk over them. I mean, I have been. And I'll probably continue to, but I wish that I wasn't. And you probably wish I wasn't. Or maybe you really wish I was, so you don't have to hear my stupid fucking singing voice. And you don't have to hear a fucking ukulele anymore. Those strings are Senor Bischoff. The only redeemable part of this version of this jam. And by jam, I mean jam is for toast. Okay, I take it back. Sam's playing some kind of cool arpeggios in the background. Not a total fucking hack with shitty hair. Ha 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 ha. Sam could probably beat the shit out of me though. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut. Alright, despite playing a ukulele, he played it pretty well. I know he meant it. Oh, Crimean War. I might have to take that back. Because this song is about somebody who I very briefly was absurdly and totally pointlessly and completely foolishly and not really realistically and completely in love with. And that Sam fucked that person. Anyway, he's paid for it since. I was sitting in front of my computer after work at the preschool, super drunk, microphone, notebook in front of me. I think 2 takes edited together, which I don't think I had done before at that point.
When you tell me everything. It will make me
And we'll get, I mean, it might not be too late to get sued, but maybe it's too late to get sued, but this is a Gorecki sample, or Goretzky sample, depending on who you ask. But then somebody playing cello on top of the sample. So it's sort of a melding of itself. Oh boy, I'm gonna get in trouble for that. What am I saying? Nobody gives a fuck. I'm not gonna get in trouble for this.
making up my Ian Curtis. I can't believe I said it. Wish list.
We played this 2 times in 2005, and it sounded like ass, so we stopped playing it. And then Shayna Dunkelman and I played it on a few tours in 2014. And we might have played it once or twice in 2015. It's a funny song to sing. It's very much about one moment in time. And then singing it later, it's very much about thinking about that one moment in time. And whether or not you've become more of a fool or less of a fool. And likely realizing that in a not self-aggrandizing way,
Will you ever bleed out?
you're probably the same amount of a fool.
Do you love me, Jamie Stewart?
No.
J.S. I am kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, that was no fun.